Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
It's Around the House. When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is a lot to know, but we've got you covered. This is Around the House.
Welcome to the Around the House show. This is where I help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Thanks for joining me today. Happy midweek special. Hopefully the Thanksgiving hangover has gone away for you and that you are, comfortable and enjoying the week. It's great to get back to work and do some fun stuff this week. I got a story for you that a viewer / listener shared to me that came in from CBS News. And this is a sad story, but wow, I've never seen anything like it. A woman falls 48 feet to her death down a well shaft hidden below floorboards in century-old South Carolina home, as reported by CBS News. An 83-year-old woman died when she fell through rotting floorboards in a century-old house in South Carolina and down a well shaft that the owner didn't know was there. And it took rescuers about 4 hours on Sunday to get the woman's body out of the 48-foot deep hole. And the unfortunate victim was 83-year-old Dorothy Louise Downey. CBS affiliate WSPA reported. Downey was helping her daughter pack up and move from the house in Salem, which is, according to property records, was built in 1920. And unfortunately, she walked across the kitchen floor. Part of it collapsed, and then she fell through into the crawl space and into the well. So talk about a wild story that showed up in my inbox, and feel bad for her and her family, and thoughts go out to them. But wow, talk about some house maintenance issues. Would not have thought of falling in a well in your own home, but it just shows how crazy some of those things can happen out there. Speaking of some other stuff that we got to talk about real quick on recalls today, our friends over at MI Windows and Doors recalls vinyl sliding glass doors due to a serious injury hazard. Recall alert. The glass can separate from the frame during hurricane conditions and pose a serious injury hazard. So about 1,900 of those doors, only in hurricane conditions. So that's a big one there. So be careful there. And my friends over at Z-Line, which I've got Z-Line appliances in my house, expands their consumer options and recall of gas ranges due to carbon monoxide poisoning. So this is the Z-Line series where you have a gas range top and a gas oven. So all gas. These ranges recalled in January of this year, and consumers were offered a repair. Z-Line is expanding the remedies available to consumers to include a replacement range or a refund. All consumers who have affected range should immediately stop using the oven compartment, even if they already had their range repaired as part of the prior recall. Consumers have received a repair being contacted directly by Z-Line with additional information about the offer of an inspection, replacement range, or refund. Consumers who have not yet scheduled a repair as part of the recall should contact Z-Line for information regarding the available remedies. And there's about 30,000 of these ranges out there. So if you've got a Z-Line all-gas pro-style range, something to be very, very careful of out there. Make sure you follow those directions. You can find out more information about that at cpsc.gov, and you'll find that information there. There's also an IKEA is recalling a mirrors due to a laceration hazard. The plastic clips are failing, and there's about 14,000, almost 15,000 of those. So be careful there. There's a Lowe's Twin Star infrared quartz electric fireplace that can overheat, causing a fire hazard. About 15,000 of those out there. And then DR Equipment recalls tow-behind field and brush mowers due to fire and burn hazard. The exhaust pipe can break and cause damage to the unit due to excessive heat, especially in the presence of dry cuttings or spilled fuel, posing fire and burn hazards. So take a look at that one. And then Murph Electric Bikes recalls electric bicycles due to fall and injury hazards. The bicycles did not meet the U.S. safety standard, and that is a Murph, M-U-R-F, that we see right there. So we got a few recalls there that have come out this time of year, which is always important to take a look at. That's most of them there. I think everything else we have covered in previous episodes. So important ones to take a look at. And one last thing before we go out to break here and call this midweek special a wrap. I'm seeing more and more signs out there that remind me of this 2008-2009 crash in the building and remodeling industry that we saw. So, there's nothing scientific here, but when I go into a retail wholesaler and I go to pick something up and they don't even have somebody in their distribution warehouse for 3 days because they have nothing to ship out, and it's not because of sales, it's because nobody's ordering anything. I'm starting to see more and more stuff like that, where 2 years ago, these guys would have had 6 or 8 people in the warehouse, and now they don't have anybody in a warehouse for 3 days because nobody's ordered anything. So I'm really concerned out there that in the higher end materials, remodels, and even construction, that we are starting to see signs in the retail sector in home improvement products that there's some struggles out there. So, we see people out there in the home sales on the high-end homes, at least in my area in the Northwest. People that are moving into the area are buying homes, but I tell you what, I am not seeing a lot of houses for sale unless people are moving out of the market. So, be very careful out there. If you're putting down deposits, for a product that you're spending thousands on a deposit, you might want to think about not doing it via a debit. Maybe you want to put it on a credit card just to make sure that if they were to disappear, that you have some recourse and you could get your money back. So things like that, be very careful with. Be careful with your contracts. Make sure that, you have some recourse at the end of the day. I'm just seeing some of those things starting to happen here at the end of the year. I'm seeing massive cutbacks from some of these companies, and you're starting to see a little bit of a panic in that sector. And I know there's still people out there that are doing really well, but I'm seeing more and more people that are really concerned and cutting back and tightening up those budgets. So be really careful out there. If you're in a business out there in home improvement, I think right now there's some really good opportunity out there. So yeah, there's a lot to be said. So just be very careful out there, guys. Watch your money. And we could not be through this storm yet in the home improvement world and the construction world out there. So, just step carefully, plan ahead. And if you're thinking about doing a big remodel, I think you might wait a little bit and see what happens, because I still think that materials are going to come down. And I still think that we have some room for things to get cheaper out there before they turn around and get more expensive. Well, and one more positive note out there. I hope you guys have been spending some time getting some Black Friday deals out there. There have been a lot of great sales on stuff out there. So hopefully you have been finding some great stuff for you, your family, and of course, maybe the workshop. Because I tell you what, there's been a lot of great stuff on sale out there and some good deals for things if you're looking for it. So keep your eye out. There's some great sales, and might be some time to put some tools in the workshop right now, because I love some of these deals out there. I've been getting some great little finds, and if you look, they're out there to be had. All right, everybody, we got a great show coming up this weekend on Around the House on the radio and podcast, and of course the television show, so you don't want to miss either one of those. I'm going to call it a day here on a Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in to Around the House. We'll see you this weekend for a big show.
Discovered anywhere beyond the mean. Life is a love song, let's be lovers. We're all over the radio. Take my hand, I know where to go. All over the radio.
Hey, it's Eric G from Around the House. Are you planning a decking or siding project this year? If you are, you've got to check out my friends at Millboard. Millboard is a completely different kind of composite decking and cladding that enhances outdoor spaces with enduring distinction. Hand-molded from the finest oak, it realistically mimics the natural grain and color of premium hardwood. If you're looking for something that doesn't look like plastic and instead real wood, check out millboard.com. Make sure and check out that interview we did just a few weeks back. That's millboard.com.